Good morning and thanks for watching the news with me, Tabby Kamangala Munifumbo. First, the headlines. Pension Fund complains of delays by the government to remit pension contributions. Malawi Law Society calls on the government to walk the talk on rule of law. And in other news, Malawi intensifies preventive measures against cholera and other public health threats. We have these plus other stories. Please stay with us. Our top story this morning, the Public Service Pension Trust Fund has complained of delays by the government to remit pension contributions for its employees. Chairperson James Kumwenda said this in Lilongwe on Friday during a workshop for controlling officers. Pempero Malimba has the details.
On areas of interventions that is required from top management.
Kumwenda said the delay is against the law, as the government is required to limit the contributions not more than 14 days after payment of salaries. He said the delay hinders the government employees from growing their funds.
The moment you delay remittances for whatever period, what it means is we've denied the members an opportunity to invest and grow their fund. So whether you've delayed for a month, 2 months, that money would have been invested and it would have been accruing interest.
One of the participants, James Manyetera, who is Principal Secretary for Administration in the Ministry of Health, said the delays can be dealt with through enhanced coordination between various government offices.
That problem is best be improved through coordination. Firstly, from the ministry point of view or the department point of view, then the Accountant General's department and the trust itself. So if we work together, I'm sure that the things will work.
The fund, which has a membership of 134,000, was established in accordance with the Pension Act as a standalone contributory pension scheme for public servants, and its current value is at 368 billion kwacha.
The government of Norway has signed a 9 billion kwacha agreement with the World Food Programme to support Malawi's food security program. The fund will enable WFP to procure over 3,000 metric tons of maize for distribution to families facing hunger this lean season. As Brenda Kaya reports from Lilongwe, part of the assistance will also support school feeding programs across the country.
Speaking on Friday during the signing ceremony in Lilongwe, the Norwegian ambassador to Malawi, Ingrid Malene Mikkelsen, said 544,000 people who are food insecure are to benefit from the support. She further said 256,000 learners will benefit through school feeding program and 5,400 children through malnutrition support program.
We have now worked hard to collect as much money we could in order to assist with this, and we have then today signed an agreement with the WFP under the supervision of DODMA representative for a $5.2 million that is to be allocated for food import, maize import, to secure nutritious food, and also to have secured school feeding for children so that they can stay healthy and stay in school.
WFP Country Director Paul Turnbull commended the progress in the food security response. However, he said there is a significant funding gap that remains to reach all to those in need.
We're very encouraged and we are very grateful for the response. We've had a series of development partners come forward to support us. And, we look back at the appeals made by the President earlier this year and also by the United Nations. And we do see that the engagement we've had with the development partners has given us a very good response to the appeal so far.
In his remarks, Director of Preparedness and Response at Department of Disaster Management and Affairs, Moses Chimpepo, hailed the government of Norway for the gesture.
We are very grateful to the Norwegian government for the support that we have received. As you heard, as you are aware, the government declared a state of disaster and we developed an El Nino response plan. We are looking for $197 million for this to respond to the food insecure, who according to the MVAC is 5.7 million households. Now we are moving towards the right direction. We've been able now, we are at 73.6% in terms of resource mobilization. We are going towards the right direction in terms of reaching out to the people. So we are quite grateful as government for this response, and it will enable us to reach out to these people.
Around 5.2 million people are said to be food insecure, according to the report from Malawi Vulnerable Assessment Committee.
Minister of Tourism Vera Kamtukule has emphasized the need for partnerships in the promotion of Malawi as a tourism destination. Kamtukule made the remarks in Lilongwe on Friday at an event marking World Tourism Day. McDonald Tom was there.
World Tourism Day is commemorated on 27th September every year. Kantugule says partnerships are important.
It's about the combination of the people that came this year. Everyone, because I think when we are talking about tourism, I think we have a tagline that you may have heard in tourism. We call it everything, everyone tourism, meaning that when you're talking about tourism development in this country, it's a responsibility of everyone and that every sector has to be involved.
Lilongwe City Mayor Esther Sagawa said there is need to empower councils so that they effectively help in promotion of tourism in the country.
It gives us much courage and it gives us much powers that we can also be monitoring and also seeing part of the operations of those sectors and at the same time benefiting from those decisions.
During the event, Standard Bank awarded outstanding individuals in photography and poetry competitions. A total of 4.5 million kwacha was given to 3 winners in photography competition. The bank also gave a total of 4.5 million kwacha to 6 exceptional student poets across the country. The theme of this year's World Tourism Day was Tourism and Peace.
Malawi Law Society has called on the government to walk the talk on the rule of law by honoring judgments delivered by the country's courts of law. Officials made the call during the launch of the 2024-2025 judicial calendar in Blantyre on Friday. Kelly Napolo reports.
The first Tuesday of the month of October marks the beginning of the Malawi judicial calendar, and this year it starts on 1 October. To add color and pomp to the commencement of the calendar, judicial officers gathered at the Sherry Party in Blantyre, an event which also provided a forum to discuss improvements in judicial services. At the event, Malawi Law Society chairperson Patrick Mpaka isolated a thorn in the flesh of the justice system, which is government failure to honor its legal obligation.
We emphasized to the government that they must lead and give an example in honoring judgments of the court. When Section 174(1)(c) of the Constitution puts it upon government to honor judgments of the court that have given money to people that are using the courts.
On the other hand, Chief Justice Rezin Nzigamanda took advantage of the event to announce ongoing efforts to digitalize the judicial system as a means to address case backlogs and delays.
We should be as innovative as we can be, beyond simply telling people to do the work. And that's what we are going to implement in the coming year. The various innovative mechanisms, including digitalization.
Last year, the judicial calendar commenced on 6 October.
Center for Agricultural Transformation has called for more investments into underutilized and neglected crop species to enhance economic development. Executive Director Macloyd Nkoma says some of the neglected crops are used in manufacturing of expensive products such as medicines and perfumes. Nkoma said this after signing an agreement with Mzuzu University through African Center of Excellence in Neglected and Underutilized Biodiversity in Lilongwe. Nkoma speaks with Esnat Tembo.
Growing these species as this Center of Excellence will be helping in research and development to come up with these species. So that our role really is to ensure that we are showcasing these through the smart farm model that we have, but also through what we call market systems development, is to ensure that when farmers actually adopt these, can actually be helped on access to finance, but as well as access to markets. So that's the role of the Center for Agricultural Transformation.
Mzuzu University Vice-Chancellor Wells Singini says the Memorandum of Understanding provides students with hands-on experience in research.
The key benefits of the MOU that was just signed today with the Center for Agricultural Transformation is that as a university, it's becoming difficult to find space or a partner that you can collaborate with. In the process, we end up not being able to give space to our students to have hands-on practice in terms of the lessons that they go through in classes. So this to us is an important partnership because CAT is in the industry, is in the practice, and therefore it will benefit much more our staff as well as students in terms of practice.
Malawi has intensified preventive measures against cholera in 3 health facilities along the hardly hit Chitipa border. Health officials say the ministry is distributing chlorine as civic education intensifies to learners and other groups. Sam Kalimira is in Mzuzu.
Deputy Minister of Health Harima Daudi said this when she, together with the Presidential Task Force on Public Health Emergencies, visited the district to appreciate the status of disease. So far, 40 cumulative cholera cases have been registered in the district. Daudi said the ministry is impressed with how health workers and development partners have worked to save communities surrounding Kapenda, Kameme and Ifumbo health facilities which have recorded cases of the disease.
We're heading to rainy season. Our advice is please, people should be sensitized on how to use chlorine. They should be given chlorine. They should make sure that the surroundings are clean. And the water they're drinking, they should be very careful. Drink water which is safe to them. And as our health workers also should do a lot of sensitization to the community so that they should know exactly what to do to avoid having cholera cases in this area.
Chitipa District Hospital Medical Officer Dr. Victor Matumbo said some cases were imported from Tanzania, adding discussions are underway for joint prevention activities. Matumbo said development partners have helped with workforce and medical suppliers to treat patients affected.
Cholera is a waterborne disease. Prevention is better than cure. So as Chitipa, despite us registering cases, we have also intensified hygiene practices in our communities, whereby we have, through our environmental health department, we have reached to all our villages around the affected health centers, so that all the water sources have been treated with chlorine, and there's been a household distribution of chlorine.
Meanwhile, Presidential Task Force on Public Health Emergencies Chairperson Wilfred Chamilankoma said there is need for collective effort to deal with health emergencies such as cholera as the rainy season approaches. Cholera has so far killed 1 in Chitipa. Apart from Kapenda, Kameme and Ifumbo health facilities, Kasei and Chitipa District Hospital have also recorded cases.
You're watching the news on Times TV. We'll be back with more after this break.
We are back with the latest lineup from Betway.
Mizanya Bambo.
Betway's front 3 starts strong with cash out and sweat bet. Plus, you can boost your sports bet with Win Boost.
And pick up any penny. Pali Freebie Friday. Smart Pigs. Builder Bet. Omwe Atamanga Gataka Furufuru.
They've also got their back to Odds Boost and Betway Stars. You always get way more with Betway.
Ando. Yamakocha.
aliyense amakhala ndi nzake kuti nthawi zonse amakhala pafupi nawo komanso amakhala okonzeka kuthandiza iye maso ake amakhala pakupambana basi ndipo mtima wake umakhala m'malo kodi kupanda ma BFF zingatithere bwa sangalalani ulendo uno poonera magemu a Premier League ndi BFF 1 pa GoTV. Lipirani GoTV Super Plus pa mtengo wa 45,000 kwacha pa mwezi kuti musaphonyane ndi chilichonse pa Super Sport. GoTV. Love it.
Still in the news, Blantyre City Mayor Joseph Mabwinja has asked the government to ban motorcycle operators from the city's central business district. Mabwinja says this can reduce road accidents. He was speaking during a stakeholders meeting for the Safe Roads Africa Chitetezo project. And Zacchaeus Mchawa is Road Traffic and Safety Services Assistant Road Transport Officer for Blantyre.
We do meet resistance from the ones who are not aware of what is going on. So they just come, and then sometimes we do get stoned. But the challenge that we're facing is the resistance from the society.
The project is being implemented in partnership with Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences and Kamuzu University of Health Sciences. Meanwhile, police are attributing the rise in road accidents in Limbi, Blantyre to lack of adherence to road signs by motorbike operators. The 48% increase has been recorded in the last 8 months. This came out during a Limbi Police Station's Executive Committee meeting at the Blantyre City Council. Gift Sitima has more in this report read by Sam Banda Jr.
Although there is a reduction in criminal crimes in Limbi, the increased number of road accidents is very worrisome. A total of 422 road accidents have been registered from January to August this year, against 285 that were recorded last year in the same period. Officer in charge Limbi Police Station Edwin Mkambo, who is the Deputy Commissioner of Police, calls for a collaborative effort to win the battle.
We are working very hard, and this working hard is not just coming in, but it's because of the good partnership we have with the members of the community. People should not give information when they have information to share with the police. The officer in charge has got an office, but the office is there to assist, to have any information which is maybe important, to take it through, to have a good way of policing around Limbi.
Outgoing chairperson of Limbi Police Station Executive Committee, Musa Lambert, who served over 30 years, emphasizes that security is a shared responsibility. He urges the new committee to work diligently.
The police cannot handle security on their own. So when community policing came in, it added value to the police, or made the police work easier. Because now, if you can imagine, in an area, I think is it 1 to 500, one policeman to 500 citizens is not enough. I urge everybody to help community policing or join community policing to make our area safe.
Abdul Hamid Khan, the new chairperson, says his committee will work hand in hand to continue intensifying patrols and awareness campaigns to reduce crimes and accidents in the city.
Catholic Relief Services has pumped 500 million kwacha in 10 Malawian businesses to acquire business skills to grow their businesses. This has happened over the past year as a pilot phase project for business acceleration under the Malawi Food Crisis Fund. Wezigosi reports.
Speaking during the graduation ceremony for the businesses that took part in the initiative on Thursday in Lilongwe, CRS Integration Lead Crispin Magombo says the goal of the Business Accelerator project was to strengthen capacity and investor readiness of early-stage inclusive businesses that are preparing to scale up their businesses. He says he was happy to report that the project has been a success as they have recorded positive results.
We have done quite a lot in looking at various areas, and this has been the motivation to address hunger with innovation and to be able to transform lives and be able to have a social impact in the programs that we do. As you probably may have seen, most of the programs here, they are not a loaner program. They are doing their business that are impacting on the lives of many people.
Minister of Trade and Industry, Registrar of Cooperatives, Limbikani Kachiwaya, says initiatives like these help in the economic growth of the country.
The next step is we want those products to flood the local markets, right? So that once we have flooded the local market with those local products, it will mean for us as a ministry, we can now start talking of import substitution. At the very same time, we want those products to also, we export for the export market.
Mzimba South-based Taonga Cooking Oil Company Managing Director Timothy Muntari says through the project, the company moved from producing 50 liters of cooking oil per week to 7,000 liters per week.
We've also found markets around Zimba South, like
areas, the schools around Nzimba, the hospitals around Nzimba, and we have also lodges and supermarkets that are buying from our products, that we are even failing to meet the demand because the demand is just too high for our company.
The project comes to an end on September 30, 2024, with a graduation and a learning event.
Now in international news, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas addressed Thursday's session of the United Nations General Assembly. Abbas used his keynote speech to highlight the plight of his people whose lives have been upended by the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas militants. VOA's UN correspondent Margaret Bashir has more.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas received a show of support as he took the podium and spoke about the more than 41,000 Palestinians who have died in the past 11 months of Hamas-Israeli fighting.
Hundreds of Palestinian families have been annihilated. Entire family names have been wiped out of the civil record. More than 100 families have been completely wiped out of the civil record. They no longer exist. Thousands have died because of the spread of disease and epidemics and the shortages in medicine and water.
Abbas did not name Hamas, but he referred to the October 7 terror attacks, condemned the killing of all civilians, and called for the release of all detained persons, an indirect reference to the hostages taken from Israel. He called on the international community to act to end the war.
Stop this crime. Stop it now. Stop killing children and women. Stop the genocide. Stop sending weapons to Israel. This madness cannot continue.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will address the assembly on Friday after delaying his trip due to the military escalation with Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. American and French diplomats have proposed a temporary ceasefire to calm tensions after a wave of Israeli attacks and airstrikes on southern Lebanon and Hezbollah rockets launched at Israel.
War is not inevitable. A diplomatic solution is indeed possible. In recent days, we've worked with our American partners on a temporary ceasefire platform of 21 days to allow for negotiations.
In Haiti, gangs have been terrorizing the population, taking over parts of the capital and kidnapping, raping, and killing civilians. In June, Kenya deployed around 400 police as part of a multinational force to help quell the violence.
The national security forces, with the support of the mission, have already demonstrated tangible results on the ground, making it possible for the population, little by little, to see normal life restored. But a lot still remains to be done.
Kenyan President William Ruto said he would be sending another contingent to Haiti by January, and he urged more countries to support the mission with needed equipment and funding.
The progress so far in Haiti demonstrates that what was once deemed mission impossible is indeed a present and undeniable possibility.
The annual UN meetings always attract a wide variety of protesters. On Thursday, as the Palestinian president spoke, supporters gathered a few blocks from the UN headquarters to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. Margaret Bashir, VOA News, the United Nations.
Well, that's the news for now, but before we go, the headlines again. Pension Fund complains of delays by the government to remit pension contributions. Malawi Law Society calls on the government to walk the talk on the rule of law. And in other news, Malawi intensifies preventive measures against cholera and other public health threats. You can get more on these and other stories by visiting www.times.mw, liking and following our Facebook page, Times 360 Malawi, X at Times 360 Malawi, and by subscribing to 1895 by dialing star 1895 hash. I'm Tabi Kamangala Munifumbo. Goodbye.